Alright, one more video here. I'm looking at the back. You can actually see this is the behind the marquee. And this is the marquee light, and if it looks a little discolored, it's because it is. This is the most problematic part of the system. It does light up, but it does not light up uneven if you look at it from the front. This is the part that is most likely to fail first, and that could be a problem, because I'm going to have to be able to import something aftermarket for that, and it's going to be a pain to do. But it is nice to actually have a lighted marquee and everything. You can see when it's fully lit up, and as I noted, it is not perfect, it is uneven, but it still is lit up. And there's a game that some people in the neighborhood might like to play sometime if they've got a quarter, but we'll talk about that at some other time. Now, what changes do I need to make on this? Well, I have to decide if I want to run additional emulators. For example, maybe I want to run Daphne, so I could have something like a Dragon's Lair or a Mach 3, or games of that type. Right now, that doesn't include that. That's probably the most critical thing. Most of the other emulators we could possibly care about are here, except maybe a TurboGrafx 16 emulator, and you can find that easily enough. Number two, do I want to actually keep the front end that's here? The front end that is currently running, that was set up very well by the previous owners, considering it was set up several years ago, was Memoir. Do I want to keep this front end? Do I want to try something else, perhaps? The front end scene for emulation has become much more mature since this was released. It doesn't say this isn't good, this is awesome, but I might like to play around with that and try it out a little more. Even if I keep this particular front end, do I want to dress it up a little bit? Maybe set up some different screens. Certainly include a video of some kind at the start. Yeah, there's an old Bally game. Frog and Playmation. If you let it sit there long enough, it'll automatically load up some game because it gets sick of waiting. If it sits here long enough, it'll go back to the other screen. So it's not like I hit a button, it just kind of happens that way. I also need to clean up some other issues. For example, this has for the time it was put together, a very thorough collection of games, including games that are probably not appropriate for children because different cultures thought about such things differently. So there are things here I would probably not make available to general audiences, and I would probably remove them from the screen. And I can go into that and make some database entries. I can plug in a keyboard easily enough and fix that problem. Either put it under the lip or just directly in the computer itself. Put in a keyboard, put in a mouse, go in, make some huge changes to the thing. So that's certainly to do. Of course, I have to look at getting additional side art. The controls themselves, the arcade controls themselves are perfect. I don't need to make any changes about that. All in all, even though I'm being critical of some things, it's because, you know, I try to be a perfectionist about stuff like that. There's always stuff I can look at improving. Nonetheless, this is still an awesome toy. This is going to get a lot of play. I suspect that I'm going to have people bugging me to come play my game. Half the people I know will bug me to come play the game. Half the people will think I'm really weird. But that's okay, those people already thought I was weird, so I'm not really changing anything about them. Regardless, this is my arcade cabinet. And it's free to me, and it's a quarter to you.